like slowly losing to entropy. Not in the game. The game we're just losing to land screws, which is magic in a fucking nutshell. But in real life, I am just slowly losing to entropy. And I know technically we're all slowly losing to entropy, but I feel like I'm losing to entropy slightly faster than I should be. I like to throw a possibility. The make your mark was okay, wasn't good, wasn't bad. Shock and lightning bolt were fine. Infuriate was fine. Brainstorm was good. So, okay. All right, that's the post-mortem of the deck. Sorry for the brief interruption. Let's go with 3. Open our packs. Get back into the drafting. I'm glad we tried Lowdown Is It. I think Lowdown Is It works. Like I played those series of games, and I think with a little bit different land draw, a little bit different draws like that, and not matching into that fucking lifelinking quill, I think we're fine. That deck seems like it could play. It feels like we have the tools to succeed with the Lowdown Is It. I'm glad we made that version instead of the other version, just to keep trying things this early in the cycle. What am I looking for? Premier Draft. Okay. Yeah. All right, let's go. All right. But that particular crash was on me. So one of the cores in my CPU is not working properly, and I have to tell OBS not to use it, and I forgot to tell OBS not to use it. After a while, it will just crash eventually. And actually, we got like 5 hours before a crash. All right, I think this is one of the cards. This is the bomb build around Boros card, right? Or one of them. Instant and sorcery cards you have lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. If a spell is cast this way, put in your graveyard, exile instead. That card is nuts. I don't think there's any other good cards in this pack. The Pledge Mage is okay. Expel is kind of a little bit weaker. I like Burying the Books quite a lot, but I don't think it's better than this card. It's random cards. It's actually a little clunky, honestly. It's good with burn. It's not so good with like random combat tricks or something. And it's a you may cast, but it always exiles. And you don't get it for free. This is not actually the one I'm thinking of. There's another fucking dwarf that's insane that maybe we'll get it. It's a Rutha. Defiant Strike. Defiant Strike's a good one to have in your graveyard. There's a Dust Speaker who wants other cards in her graveyard, but this guy does his best to make sure there are no cards in the graveyard. And there's a Pigment Storm. Rutha's the best card here. Defiant Strike has the most synergy. We don't know what colors we're playing. There is some world in which we run like all burn spells, Rutha and Radiant Scroll Wheeler. This card doesn't exile it, right? It just copies it. I'm going to take fucking Rutha and try to mana fix. Maybe this is controlling, what is red, white, blue, Jeskai? Maybe this is controlling Jeskai. Possibly. I think it's a better first pick than or second pick than Defiant Strike. And I don't think I want to grab a Pigment Storm so badly here. So let's try this. Let's see if we can get some really sick graveyard spell burn kind of deck going. Red white fixing will be important for that. Or actually all fixing will be important, but getting a dual land there is fine. Elemental summoning is whatever. Thrilling Discovery is pretty bad. The Arrogant Poets overperform for me and Orzhov, but pretty bad everywhere else. I don't know what this card does. Oh, that's a combat trick that gives you life. That's fine. There's no cards in here that I care about, right? I'll play a Study Break some of the time. I'll play a Symmetry Mage some of the time. Red, White, Blue is America. Not wrong. It's a Tome Shredder who's anti-synergy with the cards we've taken so far. This is a shit card. Doesn't do anything. This card's also a shit card. I think this is Pigment Storm. There's Blue, Red, Scry, Archivist. Introduction to Annihilation is maybe okay as well. I think we take... Do we take the Lesson? This card is not super exciting. We've already passed one. These maybe wheel, especially this early in the packs. The card is fine as a 5-mana kill things. But I'll take the Lesson because this pack is super meh. Make Your Mark's a good one to have randomly reoccurring. It's cheap. You can play it. Makes your opponent annoyed. Things like that. The only other card is the Seer or the Prophecy. Dude, red-blue does not look super open. There's a 3-1 beater who's okay. There's a Curate and there's a Wormhole Serpent. But those are not the type of cards we want to see with these initial opening cards. This can be played if I play red-white. This can be played if I play Jeskai. These cards are only playable if I make the Jeskai play, and I'm not sure we're going to do that yet. So, all right. Another Battle Seer, another Shield Mage. That's the second one of these. A familiar. Card actually has pretty good synergy with what we're playing. I kind of want the Environmental Sciences, and Familiar might wheel, but we currently have our Exile dude who can trigger that, and we might do other Exile dudes things. Is it worth taking this over in Sciences? Kind of want sciences. Let's try the exile dog. Mentors, anytime something leaves our graveyard. Scry, that's exactly what we want here. There's a vortex runner and a twin scroll. Red doesn't look, red white doesn't actually look very open, but we're fucking forcing it because we got the scroll wielder. So here we go. Yeah. Can someone educate me why he takes tapped lands over 3 actual cards? Well, I mean, Calric, I did in fact explain my entire thought process for that out loud when I picked it. To reiterate, it goes, I want to play Jeskai. I need fixing to play Jeskai. The other cards in the pack are basically all blue. I'm not very close to blue. The other cards aren't super powerful. We can take the risk of picking a fixer over that. Yeah. You probably just can rewatch the VOD, right? Like just scroll it back like 2 seconds and watch the VOD. Big butt boring Boros? I don't think so. I think the big Boros is actually really fun in this set. All right, channel is super cool, but nothing near what we're playing. There's a white-black fixer, which doesn't help us. There's a really bad blue card, so this is Tomb Shredder, and we're probably not playing it. Getting cut pretty hard on these colors, unfortunately. Scryland's not horrible. It's not great. It's a tap land. No one loves tap lands, for sure. Enthusiastic Study or Strategic Planner. Is it instant or sorcery? It is. This card is blue, though. It's probably not going to be our fixer. Huh. I kind of want to try Academic Dispute. It seems really bad, but it's a 1-mana combat trick. Let's try it. Pre-combat trick, I guess. Environmental Sciences, Detention Center. Warden and Effigy. I mean, we've got all the graveyard removal synergy. But is a card worth playing? It's a 4-mana 4/3. 4-mana 4/3 is okay in this set. Forcing blocks is pretty cool. It's pretty weak because they can still gang block. So by forcing a block, you pretty much guarantee a trade, but you 2-for-1 yourself by doing it. Technically, it's a 2-for-2 with Lesson, but it's not super good either. It's a Campus Guide and a Study Break. They're both okay for us. This card is pretty bad. We're not, I mean, we can tutor up lands of any color, though, including islands. Maybe we take our first Campus Guide over our first Study Break. Mascot Intervention is terrible. Test of Talents is terrible. And this guy is pretty terrible. I guess we can technically use this card to force specific cards to reach our graveyard, maybe? Maybe? Feels like we're working too hard to make this guy work. So I don't know when you can draft this version then. You just have to be... We got this pack 1, pick 1 and saw nothing else that synergized with it pretty much from then on. Well, I mean, besides Rutha immediately after. I wonder, you just have to be given like 3 or 4 of these in a row, like the rares? We'll see. Dragon's Approach. Card gets better when it casts twice, but it's still not good. Still not playable. All right, let's see what pack 2 does. We need red damage. Card seems strong. Is there any red or white cards in this pack? Okay. There's no red or white cards in this entire pack except for the rare. Okay. 5 times X damage to each. So for 5 mana, I do 5 damage to 3 targets. Card is fucking stupidly good. Okay. We definitely want to recur that spell. Defend the Campus. Beat us last time, hilariously. Growth Spiral. Autonomy. Assistant. Assistant puts things on top of our deck, which means we can replay them. Historian's quite good, though. It's just a 2-drop. I will be okay to wheel Assistant here. I don't want to play the white cards. We're still not seeing any of the red removal. It's common and uncommon. It seems crazy not to see it. Fuck. Shock up against another Rutha. This deck wants Rutha super bad. Although at the moment we don't have any fucking cards yet. Ouch. So this is the first card we're really excited to see. And it's up against another card we'd really like to play. We don't have Endless Fixing yet. There is some world in which Rutha doesn't make our deck. There's also some world in which we're playing red-blue, splashing white for the Radiant guy at this point, since we have only red cards. So maybe we should be paying a little bit more attention to blue. Let's grab the Shock. Maybe Rutha will wheel. I doubt it, though. Blue-green Fixing land. Claim the Firstborn. Another Overseer. Serpentine Curve. Pigment Storm. Neither Pigment Storm wheeled last time, which is really annoying. I think we'll take our first Pigment Storm, hope to wheel either the Assistant or maybe the Letter. There's a worm in there too, but we aren't green. The Assistant's a scam. There's another Fixer. There's a really premium white beater though. So hope to wheel the Campus. We're going to take the Professor. So we are looking like we're splashing blue, which is what we wanted to do in the first place anyways. I guess we can still splash Professor with enough fixing, but we're pretty unexcited. All we know is we're core red right now. How many lessons? Just the one. Okay. Infuriate's fine. Our white cards are just non-existent, and our red card. Where are the... How is this 2 drafts in a row where I'm playing red and we don't have access to either the 3 mana deal 3 or the 3 mana deal 4? Like common and uncommon. CMC 3 or less. Can't recur our scroll wielder. I'd consider it. Don't really like this card. I think it's overpriced for what it is. Start from scratch. Another stupid Battle Seer. Beaming Defiance, Impulse, and Letter. Pretty unexcited about that lesson. Yeah. Is this draft? If so, burn cards are just high priority picks. It is draft. First year is very bad. Take the Opt, probably unplayed. But maybe not. Okay. We're passing good red cards, are we? What good red cards are we passing? All right. Assistant. It's fine. Yeah, I understand that players pick good cards. Bots sometimes pick good cards too. It's just it seems particularly devoid of these for. You know, I mean, let me put it in perspective. Yesterday, when I drafted 2 red decks in a row. One of them had 4 of the 3 mana removal spells of the deal 3 learn, and 2 of the 4 damage for 3. And then the next one I drafted had 2 of each. That's how common they are. They show up a lot. This deck is like forced into something that it's not going to actually be able to play with. Anything we can exile with this? Not really. Seems crazy to get none of them this time around. Claim's a little bit better if we can recur it. Still not very playable. Okay, so we are getting fucked right now. Like, our colors are getting insanely cut, and we're getting baited by Radiant Scroll Wielder. It feels really reasonable to try to play this card, but we're getting... There's the first one. Is there anything else in this pack for us? There's an Eliminate. There's the blue-green guy. Emergent Sequence. Okay, there's our first at common. It's exactly the type of card we want. Okay. That's lucky or drafting with idiots, or because they're common and uncommon, and they weren't in red. Like I think you're being not very generous in terms of the luck for the last 2 draws here, and overly negative towards the other players about it. I don't think so, man. I think it's just bad luck, right? Like, it's a common. A lot of times in the first 4 packs we see something. That card was crazy good. This card is decent. I'm happy to wheel it. I'll play a Pilgrim. I don't hate Pilgrim. Just hasn't performed. This card is really good. I just don't know what colors we are. Like, we want it to be Jeskai. There's a blue-red Fixer. Tomb Shredder's super bad for us. Another Bookworm. Dude, I don't understand. Green is the best color. Blue is maybe the best color. Green is still a very good color, and this is one of the best green cards. It seems crazy to see all of them come around. Yeah, I'll take the land there. We want to play our Rutha. We want to play our Elemental Expressionist. I want to try different decks. Like, it's early enough in the format that, like, okay, we found out yesterday that Simic is fucking insane, and that value is it's pretty good. I want to see the other decks come out. Blood Mage is awesome. Another Mentor is okay. It's bad for our curve. Do I just have to take a 2-drop for curve? That feels bad. Okay. Got to have some 2-drops so we get run over. Okay. Yeah, and you're not wrong. Like it's gonna get drafted highly too, Victor's. Like it's you're not entirely wrong, but it feels a little disproportionately unlucky right now. There's no red or white cards in this pack that I can play in even the remotest sense. I already have 2 of these fucking effigies and they're fine, but I don't want 3 of them. A little frustrating. This deck seems weak. It seems worse than our last one. We got like 1 blowout card, 2 blowout cards maybe. Like there's no white cards, right? Like we've got a combat professor and a familiar. And that's like it for white cards. Another opt, another pledge mage. Have too many 3-drops already, but the pledge mage is pretty premium. If I wheel study break or opt, we're okay. Maybe I just play study break. I need creatures that do something. This is kind of the creatures that do something for our deck. Yeah. Paying $20 to draft competitively before reading all the cards. We did that. It's $10 to draft, but yeah. These cards are black and green. Great green cards. White, black. There's no red or white cards though. So 25th effigy. I can't play a million of these assistants. I don't want a second serpent. Do we have any learn cards yet either? Like we don't have any learn, right? We have some lessons, but no learn. Oh man. It's getting fucking punished, man. Jin, I guess, over a curate. Okay. This is some pretty big punish for picking the rare on pack 1, pick 1, and trying to play it. Pretty big punish. Okay. Okay. So we are red with some artifacts. And we're going to try to splash the Rutha, I guess. Imagine having to choose between Shock as our first red removal and that being the only red removal we end up with. All right. What are the colors we're going to play? We're always playing this. We have 2 fixers, 3 with... Did I take the artifact? I didn't even take the artifact monument. It didn't wheel either. That's crazy. That card always wheels. To see like fucking the mage duel in the mage duel wheel, but not see the stone wheel is just nuts. So we got 1 heated dispute, 1 shock. We're always playing infuriate in this deck. We want to make the Rutha work, but we're not sure we can. We absolutely want to play the scroll wielder. We always play the tap white land here. If we play blue, we're playing the tap other one. I think I have 1 opt. Cheap spells seem like they recur best with that. We're always playing Pigment Storm in this deck. We're always playing Crackle with Power. We would have liked to have seen that white, the 0 mana or the 1 mana white sorcery that learns would have been good in this deck. Do I have a learn? Okay, we have Academic Dispute. We're always playing this as our only learn card. How many lessons did we end up with? 2? 3. Okay. So Tomb Shredder has anti-synergy with removing our graveyards, although it sometimes gets there anyways. Mark is good in this deck. The Pledge Mages are good in this deck. The Mentor is good in this deck. We have to play our 2-drops. Probably all of them. That tutors an island. We took that pretty early. So we could play Prismari Campus and Island for 2 looks at Rutha. We're not very white in this deck though, are we? So what if we don't play Rutha and play mono red with a little tiny bit of white in it? Do we get anywhere? Familiar really wants lots of white sources since it's an early drop. We need 8 more cards into this deck, chat. All right, so we play 1 effigy. We scowl at it. Pennant do anything for us. We don't have tokens, so it's a 3 mana +1/+1 Vigilance and Trample equip. It's very expensive. We don't have flyers, and we don't have removal. So it's going to be difficult to deal with creatures, players, or other decks in this format. I think we can get away with 1 gargoyle. I think we want Tomb Shredder here. Seven instants and sorceries. Is claim good enough? We have no sacrifice synergies. Yeah, that's what I'm saying about Ruthless. Oh, we always play the Elementalist. That's a good one. I would love to play Opt, but we don't have blue mana sources for it. I would love to play the Familiar and the... I might have to play Familiar and Divine Gambit. Divine Gambit on double white is super painful, but I'm really short. There are worlds in which like my opponent has no cards or zero, like 1 card left in his hand. I'm just like, fuck it, we'll go sorcery, exile a thing. Hope they don't have a permanent kind of deal. I could main deck Introduction to Annihilation. It's a pretty clunky removal card, but it is a sorcery. If I kick Mentor. What? Oh, you mean if I don't play it? Yeah, well, I mean, thing is, we want to play Combat Professor. It's probably our best attacking creature on the board. We want to play Scroll Wielder. It's like the deck that we're trying to build. Mentor synergizes nicely with that. I kind of would like to put Doggo and maybe Divine Gambit in for white. We need quad red if we're not playing blue for this, which is kind of ugly. What's teach from example? It's pretty bad. So slow. So slow. How does it look splashing the rare? We get a 3/1 flyer, a 2/1 blocker, a curate, a wormhole serpent. Yeah, I guess that's probably what we're doing, huh? We're building 2 versions of this deck again, looking at red-white and looking at red-blue. It's a lot better, honestly. We have better creatures, the Seer. Got a lot of incidental shitters, didn't we? All right. So I don't think this version works. So the problem is Divine Gambit isn't strong. Although I want to play the Mentor, it doesn't really synergize. The Pledge Mage can be cast on red only, which means it can be in either. And the Familiar requires quite a lot of white sources. So if instead we just play the Scroll Wielder and the Combat Professor, we can probably make blue work in this deck. We have a lot more blue synergy cards with this deck. It's a little frustrating is all. We probably have to play like 2 planes in a deck that wants to be running red-blue pretty heavily. All right. So what does that look like? We run Opt, we run Curate, we run Adept, we run 1 Serpent, we run Jinn, we run Rutha, we run Seer. Seem to be missing 3 drops. We could run Doggo over Effigy. It doesn't synergize with our deck, but Effigy is pretty bad here. We only have the one thing that removes things, and it's 1 per turn. We're not so aggressive that pinging there helps us that much. Pennant, Gargoyle, Archivist. Too bad this is 6 instead of 5, huh? That's a butt. That is a butt. Do we ever main deck introduction? When you copy an X spell, I believe copy effects take what's on the stack. I think. So I think yes. Might depend on the wording. I'm not sure. I think yes. We could potentially run square up. Or Introduction to Annihilation or one of those gargoyles. All right, so we're playing this for what it's worth. This is definitely better than our other version. What's the creature count? 14. It's better than I thought. All right, tap white land for Combat Professor and Scroll Wielder. No mana rock hurts our sources pretty bad. Campus Guide is essentially tutoring. This is 6, 7, 8 red, which is too low. And 7 blue. I think it goes 6 blue, white like that, and 2 mountains. Let's take a quick look at what that looks like. 10 might be more than we need. We might be able to get away with 9 red sources. So this is 10, 5, 10, 6, 3. If you look at the guide as one of each, it's 11, 7, 4. We don't need double blue ever. A lot of our blue is situational, but not all of it. Soothsayer gets worse with low blue. Opt gets worse with low blue. Do we have anything we can replace Soothsayer with? Not really. I think we want to get rid of 1 mountain here, but maybe we don't. Like, we don't want to go down a card, but I'm looking at the mana base here. Could we go up 1 white? White can be used to cast Pledge, the Lorehold Pledge Mage, the Make Your Mark. Blue can be used to cast the Elemental Expressionist. 10 mana is so many lands for Izzet. We have 17 mana, which is kind of standard in the draft deck. We have 1 scry off the Battle Seer. If we ever resolve Radiant Scroll Wielder, we want to be able to cast the spells that come out of our graveyard. If we are playing with Rutha, we can use our mana. If we're playing with Crackle with Power, we want a high amount of mana in play. Soothsayer helps us bin lands if we have islands already. Wormhole Serpent is unblockable damage if we have mana to pump into it. I think we have mana sinks. Whether or not they're powerful enough to matter is another question. Our removal being 1 shock, 1 heated debate is pretty painful. Infuriate really doesn't fit in this deck. Oh, gotcha, second catch. 10 red. I would like to go down to 9 red, but what card do we go up for if we go down to 9 red? Which color? A 4th white? White mana is pretty dead to us a lot of the time. Our combat tricks are red, white, red, red, red. Our 2 drops are red or colorless. Our 3 drops are red or white. No, I think I'm going to play this. I think I'm going to play 10, 6, well, 11, 7, 4. Okay. All right. So what is this called? This is Cut Just guy. Unfortunately. Or maybe dwarf bait. Alright. I don't hate dwarf bait either. Alright, can we get 5 with this one, chat? Pretty annoyed to see the red-white lane. Actually, to see... I don't know what lane was... Like, I don't know how red, white, and blue were cut. But they fucking were. Like, we saw no red removal coming through at all. We didn't see much in the way of powerful blue cards. We saw no white cards. Like, none. There was, like, nothing worth drafting for white. We got that one aerial guy. And, like, a dog. So, like, what is that? Just green-black is open and that's it? We'll see. Alright, I mean, perfect land base. Got a 2-drop, have a 3-drop. Going second is the only thing. Okay. Red, green, no next land. Opponents try landing too on basics. I'm glad we developed the beater as opposed to Rutha. He's spending mana to fix, which is great for us. Just drew another land despite bottoming it. Curate learn? No. Island, island, mountain, forest, forest. So he's playing Simic with red splash for removal. Probably the fucking bastard taking all my three drop red removal. Vortex runner, sure. Giving up a lot of information with having that red mana open. Kind of sucks. That's a card. Oh, he's got counter magic open for expressionist. That's nope, not counter magic. Fight spell, maybe the. I think we still attack here, right? Blue-green pauses. Hexproof. Counter, which wasn't. The fight spell. I don't think I want to expose Rutha to the fight spell. So I think it's just these two. Sometimes I attack with Rutha here, but if he blocks and fights it and I lose it, I'm kind of annoying. So we do this. Fortifying Drought could do it, but we beat Fortifying Drought. Gonna infuriate here. We're gonna choose this creature. Arcane subtraction, sure. No value there. Okay. But no lost value either. We just trade arcane subtraction for the infuriate and 2 more damage to his health. That's okay. Opponent's still fixing mana here. We're flooding a little bit, but not bad right now. We're still using our mana. We're out of cards. We're probably going to end up curating Rutha here for some card selection. When we clone it, we cast 2, right? So we can put both of these into 4/4s. So if he wants to block, he's going to either take 4 or he's going to give us 4/4s. It's 1 mana off his elemental summoning. Pass. Oh, it doesn't draw me before I look each time? Oh, it orders. No, it does. That's fine. Take those. I don't need that card. Okay. Alright. Not a super exciting Rutha here, honestly. Okay. Was it possible to infuriate the historian and token the campus? Infuriate the historian. Okay, what's the historian? Token the campus, yes. But the thing is, yeah, we could have done that. Yep. Could have got in more damage for sure. We weren't sure what trick it was though. If we know it's always the arcane thing, we're fine with that. And I would have liked to kill his runner if we could have, right? So we currently have 5 to 3 targets next turn. And this is intervals, so this goes 5, 8. He bounces this. That goes to a 4, 5. So unfortunately we have to shock that. That's fine. Okay. He may not have read all that text. I didn't know it did that way. It's literally if it would leave the battlefield. Okay. Card is very strong. Each of up to. Okay. Wait, what? Am I misunderstanding this? 5 times X damage to up to X targets. I don't understand how I target this then. I thought I did X as 1. Shit, I'm not understanding this card then. How do I read this mana? I did X is 3. I need X is 2. I want this to do... Can I do X is 2? How much does 2 cost then? It costs 6? 2, 4, 6, 8. It costs 8. I'm 1 off. X is 2 is 8 mana. I see. So we're not casting this to spell then. So we just don't attack this turn? That's kind of weak. It's not good enough this turn though. I'm actually only at 6 mana. Shit. Dude, I guess I kill it. It's painful as fuck though. Man, I didn't understand this. I thought this card was insane. and it kind of is. So I just have to pay 3 times whatever X is, but I only get to target based on the number. So this is really good at 7 mana, okay at 5 mana. It's a 5 mana, deal 5. It's a 7 mana, deal 10. And it's a 12 mana, deal 15. Okay. Oh. 5, 8, 11, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. I'm just like, that's crazy, but okay. The triple X spells are fucking weird to read. All right, we got there, so whatever, but kind of clunky. He had good answers, but that 4/4 just beat him, right? I don't think he knew that bouncing that creature gave me the token. I'm pretty sure that was a misplay on his part. But the 4/4 that just like creates more 4/4s out of everything is insane. Still a good card. It's just clunkier to use than I was thinking. We have 10 red sources. I repeat it out loud as a charm against evil. If you're curious, chat, why I'm letting you know. Let's try it again. His name is Lawful Evil too. That was an unintended interaction, but that's what's happening. We have 9 red sources, chat. I would like a red source. What is this card? Legendary Fox. It's like a planeswalker on the back. So when an opponent attacks one or more planeswalkers, put a loyalty. When a permanent you control becomes a target of spell or an ability, draw a card. So it's just a 2/3 that draws them cards right now. Think he ever blocks here? I don't think he ever blocks. So I'm going to curate for a mountain or plains, but preferably... So here the punish is his own removal at 4 mana. What's the instance? There's a 5 mana one. There's, I'm sure, some pump spells. We get a little potentially blown out here. But I'm willing to trade this for the time to try it. Don't target his guy with this. Could have his own -2 for my thing, which will blow us out. Of course, he's got it. Okay. Get 2 for 1 kind of sucks. This is the downside, but he's never going to block, and I want this creature off the board. So we'll try now for us. I take them both. Probably with this hand. Okay. Alright. Planeswalker side, I didn't read it. 6 mana for 5, discard a card, you do draw a card, creature was discarded, so draw 2, turn target creature card from the battlefield, it gains haste, exile at the beginning of your next upkeep, you can ambush, get an emblem whenever your creature enters the battlefield under your control, deals damage. It's quite good. And limited anyways, it's going to win a lot of the time. Alright, so we play out Pledge Mage, we're taking 2. The safest play was just to remove it and attack for 2, but I really didn't want to give him the card. Now, we gave him the card the other way around, so it did backfire for us, but we still have heated debate for something else. We're a little short in removal.
1
so.
year of wholesome ginger greatness.
Thanks, Skex, for the resub. I've never been called wholesome before, so thank you for that. Squad. Another mountain's a bad draw here, unfortunately. Are we blocking with blowouts again? I don't think we are. We're going to combat. Okay. 3/2 or 5 mana Serpent. I think the answer is clear. Okay. Kill his creature in response to counters is certainly a good play. We'll do it later. Still don't want him to draw that card if I can avoid it. The moment we're trading, no blocks. So this is currently deal 5 to 1 target. We're 2 mana off dealing target to 2 targets. 4 to activate. Don't really want that. Trading here for damage isn't super good. I can hold the Pledge Mage back though, since he can't block the Serpent right now. I like passing with mana up here. Can either bring the Historian back or I can deal with his shit. Is he gonna leap it? Guess so. It's fine. No blocks. We just alternate which ones. If I leave this back, he attacks with that. If I leave this back, he attacks with those. That's fine. There's no way I can sack this card, right? So this card targets 2. So I can remove his guy, but it's not good enough. So that just resolves. Can't do anything about it. All right. Getting a little bit more desperate here. We aren't there yet, though. Ugly hand though. I want to hold off on Crackle, although we're 2 mana away, which means that it's pretty far away. Pigment Storm removes something, but doesn't remove anything good. I either draw him a card, or I deal 4 to his face, kill the Poet, and swing with the 3/2, but I don't have mana to prevent the tokens from transferring. I could attack with the 2/2 after Pigment, threatening to block the 3/3. I don't think I can passively sit by this turn, so I think this is Pigment. That one. Oh, it's any permanent. Fuck that. That card is... I thought it was just this guy. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Moderately annoying for sure. Permanent you control. I just assumed it was the fox itself. Okay. So at this point then, I think I would have preferred to remove the fox till removing that guy. I just was trying not to draw him a card. Double learns for blockers that are also evasive. So we're starting to get in a little bit of trouble here. And by a little bit of trouble, I mean, are we dead? So I can remove both his blockers. That pumps it to 4. He has 6 crackbacks. We're dead there. We get 4/7. He's at 2. That's not quite good enough. If I cast this on 5 mana, it deals 5 to a target. Could swing with the 2/2. Get him to 7. We don't know what's in his hand, but it's all pretty bad. We have Shock and Heated Debate at instant speed. Draw him a million cards. We might still get there. So I what? Swing with the 2/2 only? Then am I trying to get the pump spells here? I could remove them both. Leave the guy up. I think it's attack here. Heated Debate the 3/4 for 1 more damage, I guess. Actually, it's both, isn't it? Okay. No blocks. I need the damage to his face to get him at 5, so we're going to double pump this now. So it goes Heated Debate 3/4. Give him this card. Did we miss lethal? Did I miss 5 to his face plus 7 to kill him? Ah, fuck. I did, didn't I? No, 5 and 7 is 7, not 9. Okay, never mind. All right, you got me worried, chat. All right. Yeah. Shock and Crackle does it? No, Crackle does 5. He's at 9. Shock and Crackle is 7. You mean if he just blocks it and takes 2? Oh, if he doesn't block. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Okay. Yep. I'm working hard to get that 2 damage, and I could have just killed him. Feels bad. Okay. Working so hard to get that 2 damage. Okay. All right, so we'll just show him that we'll just kind of scarily kill ourselves here. Okay. Top that Crackle. Yeah, let's hope that's what he thought. Yeah, so my thought, that's funny. My thought here was like, next turn I can Crackle him for 5. I need to get him down to 5, and I need to survive his crackback was what was going through my head. But you guys are absolutely right. If he doesn't block, I just kill him, because Shock goes face, and Crackle can be cast that turn if he doesn't block. So, yep, punt. If we had a punt counter, we'd put it to whatever punt that is today, like punt number. I don't even know. I don't think it's been that many today, honestly. But that was definitely a punt. 5-mana Lava Axe. That's what that card has been so far. Oh, the Force Spite punk. Yep, the Mana Tithe. So we're at least 2. Opponent goes first. Going second's the 3rd. We can just up that to 3 right now. Okay. Unfortunate on our timing here. I guess I can create a dude here. So we go Mark. Shock. It's too hard to deal with the tempo of that card. That card is a 2/2 lifelink or menace, so you can never interact with it. That discounts his removal spell by 2. It's just so strong. Okay. 1 mana 3/2. Well, it's 2 cards for developing a 3/2 and killing a 2/2, which is super strong. Yeah, the play worked out for us for sure. I was worried we were gonna get punished for developing Campus, but the play is fine. I mean, it does remove 2 1-drop interaction spells when we have double Pledge Mage in hand, which is kind of annoying, but it's still good. I mean, I guess he can just play 1 card that then removes my creatures and my stuff. Okay, I need another fucking answer to this stupid card, which I don't have now. He never attacks here. So I guess we are pre-combat curating. We have planes. Card's fine. We're not super excited about Island, but we don't hate it. It's fine. Am I blocking? I can't race this. It's a lifelinker. If he removes my guy, it's super fucking painful. I don't want to be on the block with 4 mana and the Killian. He just removes this every single fucking time. So I guess we're not going to be running the blocking plan. If he wants to remove it, let's get my value. Next turn we can get Vigilant Attackers. That seems reasonable. Yeah. Double 2 power blockers doesn't really get me there. I don't get my land development that turn. I don't dig in case there's land coming up next time. He can still pre-combat remove 1 for free, and then I can't block at all. I don't think playing out second Pledge Mage gets me anywhere. Pass turn, 5 mana open. Discounted removal. It's the same logic. He definitely has removal. Which ones is it with end step open mana here? It's the one that pumps his guy, right? That's the only one that makes sense here. An uncommon. Could also be additional removal. But it destroy any target. I'm not sure resolving Combat Professor does anything except make a better, bigger target for him. So I think it's swing both because he always removes one of my attackers. So I think this is swing both, play Pledge Mage, expect one of my guys to get blown up here. If there was some way I could trick him into targeting Historian, I would, but it's never going to happen that way. So we give out the less valuable creature here. I'm expecting Killian to be a 3/3 at the end of this turn. I'm expecting him to kill the untapped Pledge Mage. Told you. So it's been the same logic ever since he recurred Killian. I can't block it because I need 2 blockers out there, and he's always going to kill one of my guys. I already told you why not to summon Combat Professor. The problem with summoning Combat Professor is that's the most valuable creature, and he's always going to, the way he's passed with open mana like that, with the particular creature setup, he's always going to kill Combat Professor before it goes to combat. So I don't even get the +1/+0 on Vigilant. I just give him the best creature I have. This would have been a really nice card earlier. Here we are definitely going to Combat Professor. Guy has premium fucking cards over there. Doesn't matter which one attacks, it really doesn't. It's just rare, mythic rare, uncommon, uncommon. Starts with the fucking uncommon, starts then follows up with the rare. It's just brutal here. Open mana is terrifying. All my blocks are bad. I can't keep letting this lifelink through. I don't know if trading these are good enough or not. We're going to try. Okay. This is how I think you want to draft Orzhov in this set, by the way. I think you want to draft the bombs. And if you don't have the bombs, I don't think you want to play it. But these are bombs. This is like, imagine getting these cards just like early enough that you're making decisions. Like, I'm terrified what the rest of his deck looks like. Recurs Killian again. Can't even block Killian. It's flying. Or rather, it's Menace. So I have to get 2 creatures out this turn. I don't think I can get 2 creatures out this turn. So we block, we take 6, take 8, go to 1. Any removal, we're dead. Can we survive the Flyers next turn? I doubt it. Does a 4/4 do anything? Is it any better or worse than the 2/1? I don't know what gets us out of this situation. I can't imagine it's anything, honestly. It's definitely not planes. Joe, if you just... I just want to draft an Orzhov deck like this. This is like if you could build a constructed Orzhov deck out of only the cards that you, only this set's cards, then it looks like this, right? No card. This is his first common card he's played. Besides, I guess these 2 are the first common cards. With Killian into removal that pumps Killian into, Killian into fucking the command that is recur Killian to the battlefield and kill one of my creatures with the sacrifice into the card that pumps the fucking thing that I can never block. I mean, that's just like, that's the Orzhov deck you want to get. Early Shock would have solved this? No, it wouldn't have. How would Early Shock would have solved that? We got our Early Shock. We killed the Killian. He just recurred it on turn fucking 4. What do you mean Early Shock would have solved this? How did that solve fucking anything? We had a clean answer to the first round of Killian, man. I don't know what you're talking about. We killed his Killian and generated a 3-2 on turn 2. That was great. That was a really good turn for us. So. So you got it back twice? Yes, you got it back twice. Man, now an Early Shock would be good. We got another rare coming down on turn 1. I played 2-2 with no text on it. This thing Vigilant? It's fucking Vigilant too. I play 3-4 that draws me a card. Alright, we lost. Congratulations, chat. I'm playing 1-1 that gets an extra token so it can pass these around. 2-2 rather. Is target attacking? Fuck, it's attacking. I thought I could combat trick with Make Your Mark to get it to 4 power, but I can't. This card doesn't do anything. Do I want a 3-2 instead for 1 card? No. Imagine playing this game as my deck here. How much less excited we are about life than all of my opponents. So I think this turn is Aerialist. We're just trying to trade it off. Next turn is Elementalist plus Make Your Mark to try to get some value here. We can cast Make Your Mark even on the plane, so this combo works next turn. But I don't know how I survive all of his creatures coming in with +1/+1 for the entirety of the game starting on turn 1. I think it's pretty clear we don't. My favorite idea here is to give him 3 extra counters to pass to a creature while losing my 3-1 that I paid 4 mana for. Awesome. Oh yeah, now it's a 4-4 Vigilant Flyer. Lucky me. Okay. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop, 5 drop. Going first, all of them coming in with +1/+1 counters. In limited. This doesn't block air units. Card is probably a lot less good if you draw it on 1, but then again, it's got a flip side fucking pretty sweet dude on it too. Actually, that card is just sick. No problem, I take 8. Should be fine from here. Both our last opponents worked for WotC. That card gets flying next turn, so it's a 3rd flying attacker. He even tapped the fucking Vigilant creature so I can't force him to block. Feels really bad. Okay, we have no outs. We can't draw cards. We can create 4/4s, but we can't race that. I mean, I don't know what deck beats that deck super early. Probably the deck that draws shock. If I had shock or my lightning bolt, I guess I don't have lightning bolt in this deck. Excuse me. If I had shock or my 3 mana removal there, I think we're fine. But like, there's no way we beat that ever from the position we're in. That's 2 losses to just insane shit in a row. Is that 3 yet? No. So we started 2-0 and then played 2 games where our opponents were just Orzhov with like the nuts. Like that Killian game, like I just want to go back and watch that again because it's so brutal. He goes first, plays out turn 2 Killian. We play shock the Killian, get a 3/2 out of it as an answer, which seems great. And his command is a turn 3 command, chat? No, what did he do on turn 3? It was a 4 mana command. I remember what he did on turn 3. Developed a creature of some sort. I don't remember which one. But I feel like this is the only way you can play Orzhov. You have to have those cards because everything else is just like shitty 2/2s that don't do anything. Anyway. Oh, we're going second again? Okay. Got a 2-drop and a 3-drop. So I guess we're keeping this, but... Is it Orzhov going first again? Are we seeing Killian? Turn 2? Let's see. Mountain. It's Boros. I don't think I have a card as good as that in my deck. I got the Elemental. I guess I do have one card as good as that. I just want to see this dwarf in action, man. The dwarf that we've pack 1 picked one and then got the entire color, both sides of that color cut for the rest of the fucking draft. Yeah, I would like to play the dwarf. It would be fun to resolve him on a board and see how good he is. Yep, sure. Opponent has 1 mana answer to our 3 mana spell, followed by... Is he going to triple spell this turn, opponent? Just double. Okay. That describes my board state right now, my mind state. Let's see. 2-1. We're playing out a 2-2. I don't want to trade the 2-1 for the fucking star pupil, so that's a no attacks. Okay. Artworks on this is sick, man. It's really cool artwork. That accurately displays how I feel right now. It's a good card to draw. Double strike. Sure. I just attack with flyer. Mm-hmm. Cast 1 mana, learn spell, pumping my 2/3 first striker permanently. So this is low down Boros. It's kind of annoying that he's going to beat me with the fucking Inkling right now. Dude, sure would have been nice to have a shock there. Okay. All right, so what is our goal here? Obviously to get rid of that shaman. So I am blocking. Problem is if I heated debate there, but I don't really want to remove that 2/1. I'm getting pretty low versus fucking ground-based Boros. I mean, I can just remove this as the cleanest option. And try to infuriate and kill him on the first strike. There we go. Question is, do I also mark it? I think I do. All right, get our token, deny him to learn, eat his thing. Okay. Can I do anything from here? Can attack with the 2/2, only the 2/2, 2/1, and can go in as well. It's just the problem is I'm gonna die to the fucking Inkling, right? That's the problem right now. Okay. Nice. Okay. We did bin 2 absolutely shit cards that would not do anything to this board, so that's not bad, I guess. But I'm gonna die to 10 attacks from the Inkling. I don't think we have a single reach creature in our deck, so it just straight up 2-for-1s us. Maybe it was better to scry once. Okay, I was just thinking, I was just counting my lands literally to see if Crackle was going to be useful here. Two on first strike, starting to look pretty good here on defense. Alright, what am I at? 5, 6, 7, right? 5, 6, 7. We get a scry. We want land on top. We're gonna double remove 2 of his creatures for 1,000,000 mana. Am I at 7? 4, 5, 6, yeah, I am. And it's 8 for this, right? 3, 6, 8. Yeah, okay. That's the card I would like to see. Only the attack with the 2/1, huh? Kind of screws me up here too, since I'm gonna have to kill that 4/4 next turn too. So here I don't think land is good enough because my whole turn next turn would be to kill a 2/1 and a 2/1, and I'm gonna have a 4/4 that I can't beat coming down. So I'm gonna bin the mountain. This is a better card. I'd love to scry next turn still, but I'm not going to. So this is gonna be Pigment Storm, that fucking thing. So we can stop bleeding out to the friggin' Inkling. Alright. I don't understand why he didn't attack last turn with 2/2/1s, but hey. Didn't get our land this turn, so we're chumping. We can scry it to the top next round though. Okay. Wonder if I can kill him. 5. Chat, what happens? Wait, chat, is this 10 to 2 targets? 5 times X damage to each of X targets. If X is 2, it's 10 to 2 targets. Is that right? Fuck. Okay. might have kept that mountain if I'd realized that. So it gets vastly better at 8 mana. Holds back the blocker. God, feels like he's playing around my hand so hard here. You don't attack with the 1/1? How do I value block the 1/1? And why do you care? It transfers a token around. You're at 11. What are you scared about from 11? You're scared about Crackle with power with the land drop? That's impressive. It's a nice read. No, I can't not block these because I'm at 8 and it's 8. I'm at 7. This is 8 lethal attacking. So it's not a good game because I don't have 2 attackers. Oh, you won't have it to block. You're right. All right. It's a nice way to win. That was a sketchy as fuck way to win. Okay. I thought he was playing around Crackle there with that blocker. I don't understand why he doesn't want his 1/1 to die or attack or transfer its token. The whole value of that fucking 1/1 is you transfer that token around. 10 to face is crazy for 8 while killing a blocker. The card is both better than I thought it works different than I thought it was. It's worse than I thought it was, and it's better than I thought it was. For some reason, I was thinking that I would be able to regularly triple spell, hit 3 targets with 5 for that. So I was feeling like it was like on some lower mana level, I'd be able to hit 2 or 3 targets, but it would only be for 5 damage. But it isn't. Every time you hit an extra target, it goes up another 5. So it's 5 to 1, 10 to 2, 15 to 3, which is crazy. Opponent goes first. This text just stays on the screen, huh? Okay. It's not broken. Seems strong. Not in a rush to develop that. Get it tattooed on my head so we don't even have to read it. I'm not going to be able to see it though. What I need to actually do is replace my camera with a mirror and then get it tattooed on my head backwards. And then I'd always be able to see that opponent goes first and I wouldn't have to read the text on the screen. Yeah. What do you think, chat? Does he block this? Feels very unlikely, doesn't it? Must be nice winning in a way which causes opponents to tilt off. Sure. Makes me feel less tilted myself. I might just have to 5 mana Crackle this because it's going to grow outside of kill range really quick. And I've got exactly 2 cards that interact with it, Crackle and the 5 mana removal. was gonna say this is probably the Nuts Simic deck that it seems so strong to me, but I don't know that I played Curate in the Nuts Simic deck. Get blown up by what single blue mana spell? Like none, right? Opt, I guess, but we just gang block Opt and we're okay. So it's not Opt, although he probably just grows the Pilgrim Mage outside of our strength. Wow. Bend Archmage. Okay. So he really needs land and he does not getting it, I guess. So I'm going to Crackle next turn. Feels bad to put Rutha on a board that I'm going to Crackle on, but it doesn't really matter. Is Rutha better development than the Pledge Mage? I don't think so. Okay. Yeah, we have recursion. I mean, it seems like we don't have recursion in this deck because we've never drawn our dwarf in a position where we could play it, despite having the mana base to support it. But we actually do have a card that takes a card out of our graveyard each turn, an instant or sorcerer out of graveyard every turn, and lets us cast it. It seems like it could be strong on some game boards. I'm hoping to maybe play it before this deck, finishes its entire playthrough. Feels so bad to Crackle that. But seeing as we've been held off any attacks for like 4 turns by this Pledge Mage, and in 1 more turn of casting spells, he gets past us. I don't know what this card does. Okay, another Drake and a rare. Whenever you cast instant sorcerer spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Dragon Squad Elite. Double the amount of counters for 6. Someone remind me why it's legal for him to play that card. 5 minutes, so 6 would have been good here. Can mark. He's never going to block this though, right? So we go combat. Actually swing all here, don't we? Artist or general? Just let the fucking historian die too, honestly. And Serpent. I don't know if I can beat that. Every spell gives him a +1/+1 counter and he gets to double it whenever the fuck he wants. Alright. It's either Serpent or Rutha. And if I play Serpent, I can't attack, or I have to give that thing up. And it's okay maybe to give that up, but I feel like one of the ways I beat this card is I kill him before it kills me. And I feel like I've got about, I don't know, 2 turns or so before that happens. 3 maybe. How is Make Your Mark been? Which one is that? This thing? Card is pretty good. The fact you can, the trick about this card is remembering you can cast it on the opponent. So you can cast it on an opponent's creatures when they die. is an attacking spirit. Nice. We're cloning ops. Maybe. Goes to a 4/4 attacker and he can't block it. We can get in for face. It's 3 to clone it, 2 to run the guy out. We lose Rutha on the board. Otherwise it's a 3 and I can't attack. Can gang block it and then I trade Pledge Mage for Elite. Okay, so we are opting. And we are cloning it. So 1 mana shy of developing this guy, which is too bad. We still haven't found our fucking dwarf. Opponent's at 8. I feel like the way we kill him is we recur our burn card. Because I'm bleeding out to these needle drakes. This card doesn't first strike, right? He's got 6 to double it though. But it's still a single blocker. So at the moment we get in 5. Okay. Snow day is pretty bad for us. Double spell off our opponent is pretty bad. We can force that 3/3 to block. Does that help? Yeah, I just trade the 3/2 for the 3/3 and learn. Do I have enough mana to elemental into that? I do. Is that good enough? Does it get us anywhere? Just block this turn too. It doesn't tell which creature he has to block. It's the correct mana. Is this a spirit? It's not, but it gets bigger. I can only cast this on one of my guys. I have to choose it when I cast, and I have to cast this before. I mean, I can use this to ambush a flyer, but it's pretty shit. He'll chump that and heal. If I don't use this. Do I want the 4/4? I guess I do. Okay, where's the attacks? It's both, right? No, it's just this. Annoyingly. Bleeding out to the air. I think it's just leave the battlefield, so we don't care if it's an exile or not. Interesting. Can't afford to take more damage here, so we're triple blocking. Six mana, 2 cards up. A lot of board presence. The Drakes are wearing us down. Running out of time. I feel like I've had a shit ton of decisions in this turn, though. I wonder if the attack with this was any good. Problem is he just blocks then the 3/3 and I don't even get the 4/4, so I don't think so. My hand is like literally do nothing here. Is a creature I control? Yes. Shock is interesting. So clearly I have to kill the aerialist. I'm gonna swing with the 4/4. It's 3 mana, so I have 3 mana to play with here. Actually don't have to kill the 4/4. I could shock away the 3/1. I could shock away 2 1/1s, take 4, go to 2. Next turn, I remove the aerialist. The counterattack with the 1/1. It's pretty bad news though, brings me to 1. Three, 4, 5, 1. Okay, so now what? I kill 2 of the 1/1s. Do I do it now? Do I wait to his upkeep? He's gonna be bouncing this guy. This guy doesn't block. Does it matter? Do I just kill 1/1/1 and take 5, get another 2/2 on the board? What else can we top deck for Rutha to matter? I get 2 more turns doing it this way. I can't kill the 3/1. Killing the 3/1 is not a non-entity, right? It's still 2 turns. I'd rather kill the 2 1/1s and force him to block with the 3/1. All right. Which one did I just target? The stack, not that one? Okay. Alright, so next turn is a scripted introduction to Annihilation on the 3/1 with 7 mana, which I don't have yet, so we'll see. Can't beat the 3/3 right now, but I can block it. Didn't get there on land. Seriously, 4, 5, 6, I can't cast. Assistant is a blocker. That's good enough. I can't swing here, I die. I can summon the 2/2 to block, to chump. So I guess I can swing. Okay. Gotta kill him. Super vulnerable to removal. Always super vulnerable to removal. can still decline this. So if I block the 3/1, it doesn't matter. If he attacks with just the 1/1, it does matter. So I guess I have to fix land here. I guess second island is interesting. Okay. I need him to blank here. If he doesn't blank, we're in trouble. I'm dead to snakeskin, I guess. I like him attacking with the 1/1 more than I like that, but that's okay. Alright, so now we're 4 and 4. We can't double spell annoyingly. So this is just remove this at sorcery speed and draw him a card. He's at 1. And we're dead to removal, counter spell. Didn't advance a creature. It's probably a land. We're drawing him a card though. Why does this cost me 6? It's not, it's 5. Okay. Don't fucking do it. You fuck. Okay. Alright, fought pretty hard for that one. I hate putting the land on top there because it blanks my draw and my hand doesn't do anything. But the problem is if I don't put the land on top, he can just attack me at the 1/1, which if I block, I go to 1 and then I don't have the mana to kill the Djinn. Or rather, I'm rolling the dice on whether or not I have the mana to kill the Djinn. So, okay. We could have got an extra token where... I played Commander like once or twice in person, but it was a thing that was invented after I stopped playing Magic and paper, so I haven't really played it much. Could turn Rutha into a token if you resolve the Orc ability before bouncing him for the copy. Oh man, that would have been good. Could we have done that? Could have turned Rutha into a token if you resolve the Orc ability before bouncing. Yes, I could have because it's a trigger and it's leaves battlefield. Nope, you guys are right. I could have had another 4/4 token. Would have won the game on that. It's unfortunate to hear it's a punt as opposed to a beat by my opponent kind of thing. But yep. Oh, then Rutha would get exiled. On the last one, trading Rutha in off the shocks for another 4/4 would have on tempo would have been huge. It would have been so good, and I'm happy to have it exiled. But okay, so as the deck title suggested, we got absolutely fucked taking our first rare and our color to begin with. We had red and white cut around us. We never drew this card, so we never got to play it in the 6 games of Magic we played. Our deck lacked the removal power level that we needed and reach stuff. So I still have no idea if this card is good or not. Serpent didn't do anything. I don't like this card. We didn't play it because we wanted to. Maybe we could have played Mentor instead of Serpent with this mana base. Maybe. We were never mana screwed for colors. Crackle was good, but not incredible. Slower than we would have liked, but powerful when it resolved kind of deal. This Adept was terrible. I mean, the deck is as it is because we were low on playables. Okay. 6 times second didn't help. I know. I don't know what to say about that though. Like 6 times second is just my fucking life, man, when it comes to playing Magic online. So I don't know. Like 6 times second, yeah, no good. I mean, it's fun to play with the new cards and check out the set, and I'm okay doing kind of like 3/3s for that to try the cards, but is a little frustrating for that. Yeah. Met at 5 to really strong at 8. I think that's accurate. Yeah. I think Simic is super good in this set. Super good. Black, white, and green, blue seems strong in this set. I don't think black, white is strong in this set at all. I think black, white is shit in this set. I think you need a series of really solid rares and uncommons to make a good black, white deck, and I don't think that's true of the Simic deck. I think the Simic deck just takes off with anything. I think Izzet's fine with just medium cards too. I think if you have the Nuts, I think Nuts Orzhov is super hard to beat. As we saw 2 Nuts Orzhov decks, the one with the fucking Killian shit and the one with that creature god on turn 1. I don't know what this is. Double major. Copy target creature spell you control, except it isn't legendary if the spell is legendary. So it has to become. I have to cast this on the stack because it's creature spell, not creature. It's kind of rough. There's a lot of black cards in here, and there's a mage duel. So this for me, I think, is between humiliate and mage duel. I don't think that card's good enough to be excited about. What blue-green creature cards are we resolving that we give a shit about? Feels like a win more. So humiliate versus mage duel, pick one. Humiliate's 2 colors, mage duel is 1 color. Humiliate's a little bit higher power level, but barely. Mage duel is really good in this format. The thing about mage duel is I might end up Golgari with it. I don't really want to end up Golgari. I want to pick this card, but I think this card is one of the better green removal spells in the format. Probably the best green removal spell in the format. So I'll go mage duel, pick one. Maybe I should have played Humiliate just to try more black-white, but I've been really down on the black-white decks. Second Mage Duel is an easy pick here. This pack is shit. I like the Guiding Voice a little bit, maybe a little to medium. Ardent Dust Speaker was okay in the Boros Recursion deck, but there's like too many cards that remove sorceries and instants in exile from your graveyard in Boros, and not enough payoff cards that give you the big benefit. And this benefit's actually really clunky. And on average, with 2 cards out of your deck in draft, you get 1 land and 1 random card out of your deck. And the 3/4 can't attack for shit. Doesn't have first strike, isn't protected, and it takes your turn because you basically have to resolve those cards and leave mana open. So you can't pre-combat remove very, very reliably either. Is Aerialist good? Aerialist is fine, but I don't think it's better than second Mage Duel when I'm already green. All right, I like this demon. This demon is clunky. We misplayed a lot with it because it has a sack effect. And it feels like this is a 4 mana 7/6 that blocks for 1 turn and then you sacrifice it to get value. That seems to be how that card plays. And I was trying to use it as a 7/6 beater and it isn't. I think the best card in the pack is actually Biomathematician. It's probably better than Damoth, but I'll pass my first Biomathematician to grab Damoth with the idea that we might get something interesting here. I don't hate Boots. Boots is a nice card. Grinning Ignis has been good for me, but doesn't seem to be where I want to be with green. I don't want to be green-red in an archetype that doesn't support it. So I'll speculate on the Woe Eater at the cost of the Biomathematician and move on. Yeah, 3/4 is super bad in this format for attacking since every summon token is a 4/4. All right, Snow Day is a really solid Simic card, but I'm very not Simic right now. Or rather, excuse me, I really don't want to be Simic right now, even if I think it's pretty good at the moment. There's Deadly Brew, which is a reasonable black-green card, but not exceptionally excellent. And there's Professor of Zoomancy. I think the Simic pick, which I think is the better deck, is Snow Day. But I would really like to try some things that are not just Simic Slam. I mean, we did so many of those. I think it's the best deck. I'm clear it's the good deck. I want to evaluate some of these other cards without doing that. So I think we're going to Deadly Brew over that to try to get some black-green going, just to see if we can get a Golgari deck to do something. So far, it seems to be the worst color combination, in my opinion, in the format. Here it's either Moldering Carrick, Jin if we were blue-green, or Introduction to Philosophy as a lesson. I mean, Lifelink has the synergies with the blue-green, but a 4-mana 3/3 trample Lifelink is so unexciting. It's just like 3/3 is so bad in this format. Everything has 4 power and 4 toughness that you care about, and every 2-drop has like 3 power. Like this card is just, or every 3-drop anyways. This card like often trades down, rarely can attack into a board. It's just really unexciting. I think I'm gonna take the lesson. Okay, there's no green or black cards in this pack because reasons that are unknown to me. Okay. All right. There's a Poet. They've overperformed in the black-white decks, underperformed everywhere else for me. Charge through. I'm gonna play. I guess I think Amplimancer. I actually want to play one of these cards. I think this card is like a surprisingly good card. I know what Amplimancer does. Do I want another one? I guess. This card seems so greedy. But maybe it's okay if we have the lifelink synergies. This is pretty late in the pack. Big play is a reach thing. I think I'm going to take first big play over that. I don't have any payoffs for life game synergies yet. I have 2 removal already, though. Maybe I don't have to play a big play, and maybe I might get a life game payoff. We'll try. Okay. Infusion is underwhelming as a sorcery. Oh, I agree 100%. I'm very happy in black-green to see a Village Rites. Okay. Professor's Warning. Another Amplimancer. Amplimancer is a fine 2-drop in Golgari. Because you actually do run into issues with flooding in Golgari because all of your cards are bad. And Golgari is bad. That seems not good. Ew. Duress or Tangle Trap. Okay. We hope not to play that. This is our payoff for lessons. We don't have any learn yet. First pack, medium low for us. The Mage Duels are super good. Their Village Rites is fine. This card was underperforming for me, but I also punted it every time I drew it. So, you know, a nice combination there. Very late lesson. It's nice. It's technically possible to play this card, but we probably die inside if this goes in our deck, in our green-black beater deck. We'd like to see a worm. I'd like to see that Death Touch trick again, potentially, although that's not super high on my list. I'd like to see one of these bombs that other people seem to play in their decks. Maybe like a series of bombs, so I could maybe go rare into mythic into uncommon, uncommon, rare. That would be a nice series of events too that I would happily play. Okay. How easy to pick up learn spells? Medium. It's harder to get lessons than learn generally, because the learn spells tend to be pretty low to medium power because they're giving you so much card advantage. I don't know what the green black cheap learn spells are, so that's a little bit more challenging. I know there are cheap red ones, cheap blue ones, cheap white ones. I'm trying to think what the green black ones are. I so rarely play black in this format. It's my least favorite color at the moment. Hey, charge through wield. I'm excited about that. All right, Cross and Grip, no good. Quadrix Command to punish us for not just slamming the Simic cards that we saw with a Drake and a Leyline Infusion. Thank you, game. Wonder if I can splash that. Necrotic Fumes is a and Pest Summoning. So we don't have black-green cards here. We've got this shitty lesson that's kind of whatever. A Dissector for sacking. I'm just going to fucking rip this card to punish whoever is in our life. I don't know if I can play this as a splash card. Just really annoying. Can I pivot to Simic? Possibly. I don't have that many black cards, but my green cards are not particularly good for Simic. We passed all the good Simic cards, so I don't want to play Amplimancers in Simic particularly. They're okay, but not playable really there. We want other 2-drops. We want the spell synergetic 2-drops, the ones that ramp us, the ones that do it whatever else. Mage Duel plays wherever. I mean, I guess we're not guaranteed black-green here, but we'll see. This card is crazy good though, huh? But it's tempo, right? So we don't want this randomly. I guess I can remove tokens late game with the bounce. So it's a bounce and a +2/+2 on as a trick. Okay. Black 2 mana Pest is summon. I think it's a 3 mana summon, isn't it? And worse, I have to tutor it in. So I don't know. Yeah, I might be able to splash blue is my thought at the moment if I get like another campus or two. We'll see. But that's a really underwhelming first pick out of a pack of a card that we may or may not get to play as our rare. We've got some people in this pack who are taking their time. They must have had good pack 1 pick or pack 2 pick ones. Shock, Fumes, another one of these demons. 5 mana. We don't have any life game payoffs. There's a Biomath Petition and an Honor Troll. This pack is not Simic-y, although there's one of these. I'm going to take the second demon. Maybe we'll wield the Campus. I don't like this card. It's okay. It's removal. We have removal. These demons fight well, at least, with Mage Duel. Maybe I should have taken Duress as well. Maybe we could have gone full self-sack. 4 mana, remove a card. Yeah, like that card is coming around now. Okay. So punished again for Simic. The Cultivator's excellent. The 2/3 is medium. Medium low, maybe. A lot of 1/1 flying death touchers. The 3/1s are pretty common. The 3/3 is the bomb white one. The vampires fly, who are 3/1s. They're sort of 2/4. This card would be pretty good in this format, but it ain't. I think I'm thinking go blank here. Can I 3-color? I don't actually think Spectre is better flood insurance than Amplimancer. Amplimancer has the bluff ability, and if you ever hit 10, it's an 8/8. On 5, it's a 4/4, which is pretty good. Take our 3rd demon. I'd love to get that land back. White-black dude is okay, but not great. Aerialist. Okay. Amplimancer is a actual lethal threat sometimes. Also threatens to trade a lot. It's a fine early drop. The 2/3 bat often is just too slow and too late to do much. So there's our first learn. It's a little tempting, but I'm not taking it over Devouring Tendrils. This is a one-sided fight spell, so it's just removal for green. We have 3 bodies that are 7/6 bodies, so I kind of would like to have. Too bad it's not an instant, but we'll take it as a sorcery. There's the Anatomy and the Cram Session. I hope to wheel the Cram Session. I don't really want a 3rd Amplimancer. I don't think Essence Effusion is very good, so I'll take the fight. So this is now 3 green removal spells. Seems like a decent start for our green-black deck. Yeah, the Spectre is 7 mana drain 2 or 6 mana drain 2. I think it's 7, but it might be 6. And it will finish on a stalled board, but it's pretty rough. All right, Drought's a pretty weak combat trick. It's +2/+2 and gain 2, which is okay, but not great. We don't need a big play right now. I like the Shield Mage, but we're nowhere near it. So we're going to take the lesson. We do need some learns. I don't know what the cheap black learns are, though, so we'll see. I can main deck Pest Summoning in this deck if I have enough sack things like Daemogoths. And I may if I don't get a lot of learn. Yeah, it's 6. Yep, it's just slow to drain with that. You will eventually win with that, but the games in this format are very, very tempo-ish, which I like, which is a lot of I turn creature sideways, you turn creature sideways. We're trying to estimate who dies first kind of deal. More hand destruction and Agonizing Remorse. We can overplay hand destruction, but this is pretty open to anything there. And we have, I don't hate it with the demons, this, the rest of it. I don't want another Amplimancer. The other one would be this 3/2, and I really don't like that 3/2. I don't have any 3-drops, though, so maybe. I'm going to take the Agonizing Remorse. Guy behind us is 5 packs deep. Okay. So the Letter of Acceptance for splashing as a 3-drop, which we don't have. A random 2/4 that I'd really rather not play. A second Charge Through. Charge Through is actually okay with the demons. I've been looking at this card and wondering. Trample seems excellent in this format. There's not a lot of it. I'm taking second Charge Through. I think I'm going to try playing them. I guess we play the black creature and we're not playing the bat. I don't think I can splash a 1/1 Death Toucher. That did wheel. 3rd Charge Through. This is a tap forest that may let us splash command. I think it's better than the commons, which is just a tap land that also provides black. This guy is pretty easy to cast, right? It's either green, green, black, or black, black, green. Take the campus. The 3/2 wheeled, that's fine. We'll take the first 3/2. Happy to see a 3-drop. I don't want to play big play. Is this a rare? We'll rare draft. I've got 3 removal spells and a flyer hate spell. I don't think I'm playing the combat trick. Maybe we would. We have big dudes and we're going to be attacking. Hey, Cram Session wheeled, nice. Okay, we have no life gain synergy. So this is a 2-mana gain 4 to pull a card out of our deck that we could have played instead. So sometimes we're not super excited by that. It may not make it yet. I don't know where the black-green life gain payoff cards are, but we haven't seen them. All right, the white sweeper, Swords to Plowshare. So white got super rewarded with this pack. There's one of those Crocolus things, which is shit. The Trudge is okay. Do we have any other sources of life gain besides the Lesson Learned? We have lifelink sometimes. And we have the cast on the Curvin. And when this thing dies, I think Trudge is good enough. I like Colony because it has reach and it has text that people rarely read. But I think I am on the Trudge here as a 3-drop. We don't have a lot of 3-drops. It's an aggressive beater. Gets better with trample. It can recur. It's a bit slow. All right, let's take a look what we have here. Fixing, bodies. Hunt is a 1/1/1 for 2 mana, which is a little rough. Decisive Denial is the Simic stuff. The dude who gets better with counters when he dies. What is this thing? Sack a creature. This is good. And it synergizes super well with the demon. The demon's text is when he dies. It's not when he dies, it's when he's sacrificed. But not necessarily when he sacrifices to himself. So if I sack him to Tend the Pest, I get 7 1/1 tokens. And he dies and he triggers his Death Rattle. Which is pretty cool. Infused with Vitality is one of the cards I'm looking for here. Turns out instant speed Death Touch on your Tramplers is good. We don't have Tramplers yet, but you know, hey. There's a Troll on 3, 2/3 is fine. This card may wheel. And then there's the Colony. We don't have a lot of life gain yet, so this card is often just a 3 mana 2/3 Vigilant. I think I'd rather play the really high value card first. I say high value for our deck, not necessarily a particularly great card. Hey, that's a trample token. That's a trample equipment. And we have 7 6s. I'd actually really love to wheel this ingredient. I don't know which wheels more often, the ingredient or the pennant. I guess I have other things that duplicate the ingredient's abilities, but I don't have anything else that duplicates pennant, so I'll take that first. I mean, I got the charge throughs, but... All right, there's a 3/2 there. A guy who wants sacking, a spell satchel, some red cards, some blue cards, a green. Okay, we take the 3/2 over the 2/4. You feel like pennant wheels a lot? I feel like it wheels a lot too. Would I take Impulse over Sciences? We don't have very much Learn right now. We already have too many lessons. This is Selection, and that is... We have a lot of spells, though. This card is worse in our deck because we have the Mage Duels, we have no cast triggers, and we have the Chase, the Charge Throughs. So I think I just take the Lesson. Maybe I take the Force, the 4/5. I don't think so. It's a pretty weak lesson, weak pack for us. Okay, Hunt for Specimens is good in our deck. I don't hate the 3/1. I'm not that excited about it. I don't hate the 2/1 lesson, but I'm pretty excited to see Hunt for Specimens here. I didn't even realize there's Learn on this. This card is so much better with Learn. Fuck that. I maybe should have taken this card the first time. I literally thought this was just created 1/1. This is the cheap black Learn I was talking about that I wasn't sure where it was. It looks like it's there. This card is wheeling. Now we just played 4 red drafts in a row where we didn't get anywhere near enough of these, so it's kind of enraging when we're not playing red to see this card wheeling. This card is really good. Second Infuse comes around, I'll play it. Or I'll draft it anyways. Colony wheeled, it's good for us. Alright, so we're on a 4 mana curve. So we're playing green black and our curve ends at 4. That's so weird. We're not playing any of those cards. Another one of these 3/2s don't do anything. Okay. It's looking consistent. We did wheel the ingredient, which is super good for us. We're not playing Square Up, I don't think. We're not playing Tangle Trap, I don't think. We don't care about the red-white duel. I gotta put these in my sideboard before the fucking shuffler adds them to my deck. We're not playing this card. I can't imagine a world in which I play this card, so I'll take the uncommon for Volt Progression. So I can have all the uncommons crafting. So I can complete my virtual set and show my virtual friends and post in my Twitter that I have managed to get all the uncommons in the new set. And boy, are we excited by that. Okay. How does Square Up not work well with the pest tokens? It's just, I mean, how to say this? The card is pretty low value, right? What you're doing is you're ambushing a card, a creature that's already in combat that has some variation of stats that are under 4/4, which is okay, but that's not a super strong effect. So we'd rather play our stronger effects first. So it will make a deck, and it will make a deck that's make a deck with tokens a little better. Probably is even make a card a little bit better with a bunch of tokens, but we don't really want to be doing that, and we'd rather be playing our better cards. I'd rather just be like, for example, slamming my demon and then eating the whatever fucking thing is standing between my demon and my game. So it's okay.